Good morning and welcome to Beulah Ministries Worldwide. Today starts a beginning of a new week and a new day for you. This is Bishop Philip Tego coming to you live from the studios of Faith World TV. And our God has given me a word for you, and I believe that you have been chosen by God. It's been orchestrated by God for you to listen to this program today. So stay where you are, and I believe God is going to bless you. This morning, I want to bless you with God's word about the value is in your sacrifice. The value of your life is in your sacrifice. You see, Jesus said in Matthew chapter 16, verse 24, that if any man will come after me, let him deny himself. Let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. Let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. You see, you cannot have the crown without the cross. If people are chasing the crown and realizing that they have to go through the cross, the ministry of Jesus Christ was successful and did everything until he went to the cross. Now his cross was too heavy and needed someone to carry with him. And sometimes, and many times in our life, we think that we will get everything without going through the cross. Now, anything that is hurting you is your cross. Anything that is causing you to bleed is your cross. Jesus did not win the victory by being the Lion of Judah. He won the victory by being the lamb unto the slaughter. And so today I want to talk to you about your sacrifice. What is it in your life that you are ready to sacrifice? What is it in your life that you are ready to give up for Jesus Christ? Because if you are not ready to deny yourself of certain things in your life, you will not get to the crown. Without the cross, there will be no crown. Without the sacrifice, there will be no victory. Without denying yourself of certain elements, you will not get to that promised land. You see, every one of the Israelites who started the journey from Egypt did not make it onto the promised land, because they were not ready to sacrifice. And when Joshua and Caleb were able to say, actually, we are ready to take this on, we are ready to deny ourselves, we are ready to face the giants, they got to the promised land. I don't know what you have sacrificed in your life. I don't know what you are prepared to give up for the sake of your life. He goes on to say in verse 25, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it. And whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Many of you are chasing the world. Many of you are looking to gain the whole world. You are looking to achieve something in this world. And in so doing, you are losing your life. In so doing, you are actually letting the precious thing that belongs to you go. And in so doing, you are losing that which you need to save. For the sake of Christ, go to the cross. For the sake of Christ, carry your cross. Now, it's not a wooden cross that you need to carry. It's not a wooden feature that's with a plus sign that you need to carry. What you need to carry is what you are prepared to give up to help others succeed. What you are prepared to give up to win the souls of others. What you are prepared to do to even succeed for others. Bible says promotion doesn't come from east or west in Psalm 75, but promotion comes from the Lord. When you sacrifice something that is precious in your life, God will also sacrifice to make sure you are promoted. When you sacrifice something that is valuable in your lives, God puts value on your life. When you read Romans chapter 12, verse 1, it says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies as a living sacrifice. In other words, each day you must be ready to sacrifice something within your body so that your soul will be saved. And he goes on to say, wholly acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. In other words, by renewing your mind that this life is temporary, and the life of achieving eternal life through the cross is going to be permanent. And that is the life I want to talk to you about today. Many of you are chasing material things, but those material things will wither away. Many of you are chasing prosperity, but I have seen someone in my lifetime rich becoming poor again. Many of you are chasing things that will wither away just like that. You see, Jesus Christ, the ministry of Jesus Christ, was great for the Israelites in Jerusalem at that time. But it benefited the world when he walked to the cross. Now, when you are going through the sacrifice, it's painful. When you are going through things that you need to sacrifice, it's hurting. You see, have you been in a position where every single day of your life, the more you try to help someone, the more ungrateful the person is? That is your sacrifice. Have you tried to be in a position where the more you try to serve, the more unappreciative they are unto you? That is your sacrifice. Be faithful and consistent with it. Keep doing it, because out of it shall come the issues of your life. Out of your consistency and the faithfulness shall come the blessing that God has ordained for you. It's not telling everyone what you've done at work that will get you the promotion. It's the consistency in what you do. It's the sacrifice that you make in arriving on time. It's the sacrifice that you make in ensuring that goals are achieved. It's the sacrifice that you make in ensuring that everybody on your team is on right task or is on point. That is what will bring you the promotion. The sacrifice you made brings you the promotion. The sacrifice that you make for other people's life is what raises your life up. Without the crown, without the cross, you will not get a crown. The cross that Jesus Christ carried was painful. The cross that Jesus Christ carried was hurting. The cross that Jesus Christ carried was something that was too heavy for him. Do you know that Jesus Christ at some point said that, Father, if thou will, let this cup pass by? In other words, it was too heavy for him to bear. And quite right, someone even came to help him to carry the cross. But in the mind of Jesus Christ, on back of his mind, he was the only one who knew that 3 days he will be victorious. I don't know how long your sacrifice will last, but within 3 days, Jesus Christ raised up from the dead. And the sacrifice that he made got you and I to be saved. By the shedding of his blood, by going up to the cross, victory came to us. Are you ready to sacrifice? When you read Matthew chapter 16 and you carry on reading, it says that for the Son of Man shall come in his glory with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. What works are you offering unto Christ? What works have you dedicated unto Christ? For many of us, all we want to do is hear prophetic utterance. It's great to hear them. It's great to seek prophetic utterance. But it's even better if you are ready to sacrifice for the sake of Christ. He says if you're going to be a disciple, and if you call yourself a Christian, then you must be ready to sacrifice a few things in your life. Bible talks about a young rich ruler who went to Jesus Christ and said, I've done everything that you want me to do. I have obeyed the 10 commandments. I have not even coveted my neighbor. And Jesus Christ said, if thou will, if only you be successful in life, then go and sell everything that you have. Go and sacrifice everything, the valuables in your life. Go and sacrifice them. And when you give up on them, come. And then you shall follow me. You shall be my disciple. I don't know who I'm speaking to today. You might not be the young rich ruler. You might not be a millionaire. You might not have material things. But there is something in your life that you may have to give up. There is something that you are doing that is besetting you, that is bringing you down, that you need to give up. There is something that you are consistently doing. There are hidden traits in your life that you need to give up in order to become a true disciple of Christ. What Christ is seeking is your life. And if you are ready to save it, then you will lose it. If you are ready to lose it, then you will save it. That is what Christ is talking about. That is what Jesus is talking about. And he's asking you to lose everything and let it go. Many a time, some of us are gathering riches and material things unto us. Do you know in Luke chapter 12 that it talks about a man who heaped up his wealth for a certain day? He kept heaping it, kept piling it on. He kept saving them that one day he will celebrate and enjoy it. He kept saving his life savings and everything. What he didn't realize that he must sacrifice them. And do you know what happened? This man, the very day that he said, I'm going to spend that money that I've saved, that was the day he died. God said, you fool, I'm going to call you. So he did not even get a chance to even enjoy that which he was gathering. Sometimes the things that you are gathering become a hindrance in your life. Sometimes the things that you are putting together and keeping and hidden somewhere is what brings you down. Lose them and let them go. Sacrifice them. The value of your life is equivalent to what you are ready to sacrifice. The value of your life is what you put onto the things that you are ready to give up. What are you ready to give up? What are you ready to give away unto everyone else? I'm speaking to Christians today. I'm speaking to people who call themselves disciples. But you see, in Luke chapter 14, you cannot call yourself a disciple if you are not ready to give up something in your life. You cannot call yourself a disciple of Christ if you are not ready to give up something valuable in your life. Luke chapter 14, verse 26. It says, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters and yes, his own life, he cannot be my disciple. In other words, if you love something else, someone else, or anything else more than the way you love Jesus Christ, you cannot call yourself a disciple. A simple test for everyone out there who calls themselves disciples, who calls themselves Christians. Are you ready to lose them? Are you ready to give up your family? Are you ready to give up your sister? Are you ready to give up your brother? Are you ready? He says that if anyone, Luke 14 verse 26, if anyone come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters and his own life, he cannot be my disciple. And whosoever doth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciples. If you cannot give up something valuable in your life, you cannot be a disciple of Christ. If you are not ready to shake up what is holding you back, you cannot call yourself a disciple of Christ. I know sometimes we speak about life and how to make it better. But today I want to challenge you about not just the prosperity part. Today the altar call that I'm making is not the altar call that says come and I'll give you peace. I'm making an altar call that is saying come and give up something valuable in your life for Christ. Because I want you to become a disciple. I don't want you to become just a follower, a disciple. A disciple is someone who takes the statutes and the rules and the regulations and personalizes it. There is more to being a disciple than a follower. I'm asking you to become a disciple of Christ. I'm asking you to give up everything for Jesus Christ and take up that cross and follow him. I'm asking you to make sure that you stand strong and tall with Jesus Christ. I'm asking you to get to that position when somebody can approach you and say, are you a Christian? And you say boldly, yes, I am. I'm asking you to become a disciple of Christ, where you can walk boldly, strong and tall, and say, yes, I stand with Christ. Jesus Christ, you see, the irony of this passage is that Jesus Christ made this statement after Simon Peter said to him, you are the Messiah, you are the Christ. And he said to him, flesh and blood has not revealed this unto you. And then Peter went on to make another statement. Jesus Christ said, hang on a minute. If you're going to be a disciple, if you're going to follow me, then you need to take up your cross. What is your cross? What is it that you treasure? What is it that you value more than your life? Because what that thing is what will make your life. If you are ready to let it go, then God is ready to help you. God is ready to step in. I started by saying that the victory was not won by being the Lion of Judah. The victory was won by being the lamb that was led to the slaughter. The devil may think that if he's gotten you, the devil may think that he's gotten you into a position. The story of Job, and I'm going to keep finishing this by the story of Job. Maybe you don't know the story of Job, and let me give you a brief summary of the story of Job. Job was someone who had wealth. He had a family, he had children, he had cattle, he had sheep, he had servants, he had everything that every man in his lifetime would desire. 3 days, and Job lost everything, including his missus, including his children, including his servants. Everything disappeared. Now, if you were in Job's shoes, you say God doesn't exist. And many times I've met people who come to me and they say, well, I've lost this. If God really existed, how could this have happened unto me? Indeed, Martha said to Jesus about Lazarus, he said, if you were here, my brother wouldn't have died. Sometimes things happen in our life and we think and say, if God really existed, why did this happen? I want to tell you, it's all part and plan. It's all part and plan in the parcel of what God has written for you. Sometimes you feel down. But you see, every time I feel down, I say to myself, the only way then is up. It means that I am going to rise up. Last week I spoke in my church and I told them, sometimes we need to be like the cat. I looked at the animal world and I like some of the things that I see in the world of animals. Do you know that irrespective of where you throw the cat from, it lands on its 4 feet? I want to encourage you to be strong and bold, to rise up. It doesn't matter where you find yourself, rise up. Land on your 4 feet. And I'm going to finish by telling you about the locust. The locust is an insect that travels in groups and in troops and in millions. They go in a storm. And if there is fire ahead, some of the insects will go into the fire. And they will keep falling into the fire until their ashes quench the fire. Until their bodies quench that fire. And when they have sacrificed themselves, the rest will come and pass by. So in other words, they are ready to sacrifice their life for someone else to save their own life. What are you ready to sacrifice? What are you ready to give up so that others may have their life saved? Maybe you are listening to me, you are watching me, you are sitting in your living room at the moment watching this program. I want to say to you this day, I want to say to you on this day, the 24th of November, that it's time to reassess your life, to go back to the drawing board and identify that thing that you are hanging on to. Because let me tell you something, if you are holding something in your hand, you will not be able to receive something else with that same hand. Until you let go, your hand becomes empty to receive the next stage. Until you sacrifice what you are holding, you are not ready to move up to the next level. God has sent me to tell somebody today, this morning, that you must let go what you are holding on to. God has sent me to tell you today that you must give up that which you are holding on to. Because it is when you have given up, that is when God will step in. It is when Jesus gave up his life that even the centurion and everyone who stood there by the cross said, he is truly a child of God. I want to encourage you to give up. I want to encourage you at this day to offer your bodies as living sacrifice. I want to say with Paul to you in Romans chapter 12 that you need to start renewing your mind. And by renewing that mind of you, that mind of yours will begin to adapt to situations, and you realize that you'll be happier in life. You'll find peace in life. You find joy in life. Everything will start working together for your good because you are not hanging on to something that which is not worth it. I don't know who I'm speaking to, but you may be hanging on to a marriage which is long gone. A marriage which is long gone. And you are wishing and saying, oh my goodness, one day he will change. And that the more you are praying, get yourself into a position where you are ready to sacrifice that marriage. And trust me, God will touch your partner's heart and realize that what am I doing? What am I actually doing? You are getting to a position where you are not ready to give up your job because you don't know what the future holds. God has sent me to tell you today, just write that letter of resignation. And when you write it, God will provide a better one. I can share a testimony on that with my own life experience, where at some point, I thought this is no longer for me. And I kept asking myself, what am I going to do? Which job am I going to move on to next? But the very day I wrote my resignation letter was the day a new opening came onto me. I tell you what, when you are ready to sacrifice, when you are ready to give up, that's when the will of God comes into play. That's when God begins to open your eyes. Because that thing which you are hanging on to, it's clouding your mind. It's clouding your vision. So you cannot see clearly what God is showing you ahead. Be prepared to give up. Be prepared to let it go. Be prepared to sacrifice. Because the value is in that sacrifice. Because the value of your life is in that which you are ready to give up. I want to finish by saying I was once involved in a car accident. I was parked my car somewhere, and this young lady drove straight into my car. And I came out of the car, and she was shaken by what happened. I was parked sitting in the car waiting. She was shaken by it. And I came out, and the first thing I said to her was that this car can be replaced, but her life could not be replaced. So let's make sure she was okay first. That statement that God used me to make to that lady saved her life. That statement turned her life around just by saying to her, I'm ready to give up my car. I can replace it. She realized that the value was in what I was ready to sacrifice for the sake of her life. I am Bishop Philip Tego, Senior Pastor of Beulah Ministries worldwide. I want to invite you to our church service. We meet at the Caribou Education Center on Gresham Road in Brixton. You can see the details of our church services on our screen. And every Sunday from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., you can join us at Brixton for a lovely church service. We are a family church. We are a happy church. We are a place where you can talk confidentially to me or openly to anyone you want to speak to. Join us every Sunday from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I'm sure when you join us, you'll be very happy. I'm sure God will use somebody, not just me, somebody to minister unto you. And whatever your burden is, will be lifted. Bible says, Jesus said, come unto me, all ye that are heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. That rest is there. It's in what you are ready to sacrifice. That rest is there. It's in what you are ready to let go. My telephone number is 07939258421. 07939258421. You can call me at the end of this program, and I'll pray with you, and I'll discuss with you. A problem shared is a problem halved. Two heads, Bible says 2 heads are better than one. I will point you in the direction of Jesus Christ, the master person who is able to sacrifice everything that he had for you and I. And I'm sure you'll be happy you did. I'm going to finish by quoting Ecclesiastes 9. It says that to him that is joined to the living, there is hope. I'm going to encourage you to join us at Beulah Ministry Worldwide every Sunday from 10:30 to 1 p.m. And I'm sure you'll be happy you did. I'm sure that God will touch you. I'm sure God will turn your life around. Every Sunday we meet at that place, we seek the face of God, and God refreshes us and renews our lives. In the week, we give him all the praise. All things work together for good. I remain your senior pastor for Beulah Ministries, Bishop Philip Tago. I know that it is not by chance that you have listened to this program this morning. Every Saturday we meet at Brixton, and every Saturday from 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tune in to this program on Faith World TV, on Sky, on every medium, and you see me, and you will share the word with you. I'm glad you tuned in today, and I'm sure God has said something specifically to you. May your name be blessed. May the Lord remember you. And next week, same time, same place, on this channel, you will see me. God bless you for tuning in. I am Bishop Philip Tago. Thank you.